Okay, so again, we're in cabin number 80 and they've taken the gyprock out, so we're just going to have a quick look around. It doesn't take long to see where black mould is already forming, so pretty keen to get the chlorine dioxide treatment into this place. Basically, if the owner were to just continue to, replace the gyprock and the insulation with that black mould there, it's got little choice other than to continue to grow. So now's a really good time for these guys to start pumping this place with gas, killing the mould, and then they can just get on with fixing it up. So we don't have to go too far to find more mould. This mould's green. Either way, it's all pretty nasty stuff, and you certainly don't want it locked away in your wall cavity. So once again, this is a really good time to treat it. So we've continued to make our way through cabin number 80, and mould is just appearing on virtually every single timber frame that we can find. The gyprock's come off up to so high throughout. The risk that we don't want to take is that the mould is, well, I think it's a fair assumption that the mould's going to be continuing to grow right through it, just going to find its way right through. So we're going to just get the gas going in this cabin now. We've got the plumbed pipe throughout the entire cabin. We've got it coming up into some of these cavities here, and very, very soon and quickly the cabin will be filled with the gas. The intention is to kill all the mould, and what will happen is it'll change colour. So we're going to press play on the gas. We're going to come back in a few hours time and see what we're left with. And we've just done the chlorine dioxide gas treatment throughout the dwelling. This cabin's a bit different to the other two that we've done in that there's no gyprock, it hasn't been painted. The only works that have been done here is they've obviously ripped the floor up and they've taken off a sheet of ply, and that's left the timbers exposed, and that's where we started to find pretty high levels of black and green mould. The levels of mould in this cabin much higher and much thicker than what we saw in the other two cabins. They were really quick to move. They pulled out everything very quickly. They scrubbed and rubbed everything as best they could. They reapplied the gyprock and they repainted. So very proactive and got on the front foot. And there's a lot of reasons around sort of why some people have had to stay still on their dwelling. This dwelling, cabin number 80, has hung around for a little bit longer. It stayed locked up. It's still a little bit wet in some areas, and there's been some hold-ups in their ability to get out, and that's why the mould's much thicker. So on this job here, we've done the chlorine dioxide gas treatment, which we know works very, very effectively. There's still some stuff that needs some closer attention, and what we're going to do now is we're going to do two things. We're going to spray it with the antifungal product, but then we're getting a hand clean where there's still some patches of visible mould. Then we'll do one final coat of the nanotized antifungal, antimicrobial sanitizing product, and then the tenant will be ready to resheet it, gyprock, paint, get back in and throw the boat in.